Sussex got their Royal London One Day Cup campaign moving with a 31-run win over Middlesex in Hove. Chris Jordan with his best return with the ball in the one-day arena. In a match reduced to 32 overs per side because of overnight rain, Sussex were put in and lost Chris Nash in the third over for 11, bowled by Toby Rowland-Jones. Luke Wright briefly threatened with a 6 off the same bowler, who then had another reason to celebrate as the Sussex skipper hit him to Nathan Souter at mid-on to fall for 15. The majority of the work in this win with the bat was done by teenager Phil Salt and the much more experienced Ross Taylor. Both batsmen found the boundary just when they needed to keep the scoreboard ticking over at a reasonable rate. For Salt, in just his second list day game, this was a day to remember. This pair took the total into 3 figures in the 18th over. And at the start of the next, the 19-year-old was raising his bat for the first time in Sussex colours as he struck his 6th 4 to go with 1-6 to register a maiden half-century of 52 deliveries. He continued to add to his boundary tally too with some audacious cricket shots. After that, as he and Taylor pushed on, taking their partnership into 3 figures to give their side a good chance of setting a competitive total in what were largely gloomy conditions. The stand went on to realise 125 runs in 18 overs, by some distance the best of the match. Taylor played his part by striking a couple of big blows in reaching his own 50 off 41 balls before there was a bit of a collapse towards the end of the innings. The ball after raising his bat, Taylor, who'd been batting with the runner after straining a hamstring, picked out Souter at deep square off Paul Sterling. Salt soon followed, bowled by James Franklin for a memorable 81, which had occupied 76 deliveries. Jordan's fine day didn't begin particularly well with the bat as he slipped over and failed to make his ground to be run out by the bowler Rowland-Jones, who then trapped Will Beer in front for a golden duck next ball. Sussex on 185 for 7 with 3 overs remaining. Thanks to Ben Brown, the home team got past 200 and added a few more too. The last 2 overs cost Middlesex 30 runs, with Brown twice hoisting James Fuller in an expensive final over the rope, the keeper batsman making a crucial 31 off 13 balls to take his side to a final score of 222 for 7 from the 32 overs possible. In reply, Middlesex began poorly, Jordan having David Milan held by Finch in the first over, the batsman gone without scoring, before the same bowler had Sterling held behind after a juggle from Brown for 4, leaving the visitors on 26 for 2 after 5 overs. But that now saw Brendan McCullum and Owen Morgan in together, and it was the former who now began to put bat to ball to good effect as he had the much better of a partnership which added 40 runs in the next 8 overs, one which threatened to mount a challenge. Then, having got to 44 off 37 balls, McCullum was smartly held in the deep by Danny Briggs off the bowling of George Garton, the Kiwi departing with his side on 66 for 3. So Middlesex then looked to Morgan to pick up the scoring, and for a while it looked as if he might be the man to carry his side home. He dominated a 4th wicket stand of 21, only to then be bowled by Beer for 31, with Middlesex left to get 135 from the second half of their innings after making 88 for 4 from the first half. Nick Gubbins knew that he had to produce some big shots, but after he did, he lost John Simpson at the other end to a googly Jordan with the catch at slip, which had his side on top. Gubbins and Franklin both then cleared the rope in what was soon becoming a stand to give the home support some concern. In 7 overs together, this pair added 49 runs to take the target down to 73, those runs requiring a little more than the remaining 7 overs. The game turned when Franklin on 28 swung Briggs to deep mid-wicket, where sub-fielder Luke Wells took a fine catch. Gubbins followed in the next over for 37, Garton with the wicket, which left Middlesex on 160 for 7 with 6 overs to go. The start of the next one saw Rowland-Jones fall to Jordan, who 3 balls later showed why he's considered to be one of the best death bowlers in the world, to see the back of Souter for a duck. The last pair did add 31 runs, but when Jordan produced some more magic to remove Fuller, the bowler had the best figures of his list day career of 5 for 28 to give his side taste of success for the first time at the third attempt. Middlesex were all out for 131 in the 31st over, and that meant a loss for them by 31 runs, meaning that both these sides now have a record of 1 win and 2 defeats from 3. Sussex now head to Guildford on Tuesday, the same day the Middlesex take on high-flying Glamorgan under lights in Cardiff.